Do you do anything beyond the typical loyalty program? I mean, do you do point systems? What do you do as far as loyalty on your side?
Talking about retention, with subscription, I do harp on subscription. That's what we do. That's what I like. It's a completely different animal than D2C. D2C, what we kind of find with the people, they see something, they want it, they buy it. And if they see something else, maybe a few months later, they'll buy that. With the subscription membership, this is really about what's in there. I can't miss this because I don't want to miss this month, because this may be the month that I get everything.
So guys, I know we're in the best city in the world, but I heard that Amer has also been out there whistleblowing again.
Yeah, I heard this too, which is crazy.
Amer, you want to share the story about your whistleblowing?
Doing this.
Was the lady's name JC Penny?
What are we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so let's set the scene. You and Eleni are at Park MGM last night?
Yeah.
Just hanging out, gambling? What were you doing?
So, Eleni and myself included, but she to another level, hates smoking. She hates smoking. Every property except I think the Trump Tower and Park MGM on this trip, smoking.
Yeah, Park MGM I know is a smoke-free environment.
Yeah. So she
went there.
She complained about smoking at Bellagio. So I was like, let's go to park and, you'll be able to sit in peace.
Yeah, okay.
And we come and we actually go to one of your favorite games.
Puff and Puff?
And even more Puff.
Ooh, good one.
And we sit down and we're playing it together. And she's like, oh, I smell smoke. I was like, no, there's no smoke.
Smoke free.
She's like, no, I smell smoke. And I look over and a lady is smoking adjacent to us. And I was like, hey, can you do me a favor? I traveled here from half the strip away just to, gamble in peace. And you're smoking. And she went off on us, and we had to get the whole Park MGM staff involved.
Okay, so to be fair, that's not as bad. I mean, you asked her nicely. Hey, this is a non-smoking. We came here because of that, and you're smoking. Yeah. So then you had to get security involved to get her thrown out.
Well, they couldn't find her, and what ticked me off, I was like,
did she run away?
Oh, well, no, yeah, she got up and she went.
And they're like, I can't find her anymore.
The funny part is they're like, oh, well, we don't know who she is. I was like, okay, so the machine, you have all these cameras. Yeah, she has a player's card. I shouldn't be Sherlock Holmes.
Let me tell you the real answer, John. They looked at Amer's spending and they looked at her spending, and they're like, she's good.
She's doing $15 polls.
Yeah, she's good.
She's very loyal.
She's loyal, right? That's all it is. So loyalty got the best of you, and you just weren't loyal enough to MGM.
I'm actually way loyal to MGM.
Oh, okay.
And they're associated with Marriott now.
Yeah.
Since 2023. So there's a lot of loyalty on that account.
All right. With that, let's shoot this thing in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the ASOM Pod, where we talk a lot. Ecom is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop. Amir from the agency and Jimmy from SAS. John has an Android, but give him a pass. Cause he's an operator building brands like a carpenter. And that's Brian, he is the marketer. Like I said, this the ASOM Pod, where we talk a lot. Ecom is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the ASOM Pod, a show about perspective from the eyes of an agency, SaaS operator, marketer, focused on the D2C, e-commerce, and retail space. All right, going on a room real quick. We've got John Roman, the Android-loving survival king. What's up, man? How are you? You ready for some huff and puff tonight?
I am.
Are you down or up right now? All right, we already know the answer. We're moving on. We've got Amer Grasinic, Prince of Bosnia, Mayor of Chicago. I got the title right because it was on the script this time.
Thank
correctly.
You.
How you feeling, Prince?
I'm feeling well.
Are you feeling well? Are you excited? You've been here for a couple of days. How you been enjoying the greatest city in America?
Here for 4 days.
Yeah. How you been enjoying? You've been already 4 days, and you're going to spend another 5 days here, huh?
Wow,
9 days. That's a third of your month spent here.
Now, I went to a lot of good shows. Honestly, it was a great time.
Better shows in Chicago, huh? That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I went to saw Matt Franco, the magician. He won the.
I've seen that.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. We've seen, I think it's called Mystery. It's like acrobatic stuff.
That's a Circus Soleil?
Yeah, Circus Soleil. It was really good. Completely different than we saw last time, but this is like what people do and how strong they are. Holy
Circus Soleil is
there's different animals, dude. People are amazing.
It is just incredible. It's just incredible, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we saw Blue Man Group, which I've never seen even in Chicago.
I haven't seen it either.
It's
really
probably
cool.
better here in Vegas, though. The original.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm going with it.
I actually heard someone told me that the original is in Chicago, and it is better.
Oh. Well, we don't know that because he's avoided it in his own hometown.
Loves
so.
Chicago.
Well,
what kind of Chicagoan who loves Chicago? Huh?
I want to have my facts straight.
Are you going to go watch it in Chicago now?
Probably not, but
no city love. Can't support the local. I see how it is.
They're not in Chicago right now.
Oh, okay, sure.
Still number one city in the world.
All right, we've got Anthony Coves here. Welcomes the mastermind behind Splendies, right? Splendies, a subscription box delivering a surprise every month.
Yes.
I wrote this beautiful introduction for him, but he won't let me read it, which is there was Santa Claus involved in it. All right, anyways, how you doing, man? How you doing? How are you enjoying the pod so far?
It's been great. Thanks so much for having me.
Really dude. Thank you for being on this and replacing our missing host here, as people might be wondering what happened. He had more important things to do.
Yeah, we got 20 less than right at 24-hour notice that Brian wasn't coming. Anthony and I have been friends for a while. We were planning, and we still are, tomorrow night.
Yeah. We
have lined up 6 events at Shop Talk. We are just branding it up. But you moved. You started living here as well recently, and I called you last night. I was like, "Hey, man, it's kind of short notice, but do you want to do this?" And you were like, "Yeah, let's do this." Thank you.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. And it's been great. Last pod was fantastic. And if you haven't heard that, you should definitely go tune into that one. But with that being said, my name is Jimmy Kim. I'm the moderator, brain, the man of the people, and the email dude here today. And with that, I want to make sure that if you're listening to this pod and you're enjoying it and you want to get more hot takes, more unfiltered hot takes from us, including Brian, who's not here, you can come join that at asompod.com. All right, guys, today we are talking about customer loyalty, or we're talking about going beyond the loyalty program, because, we're always talking about acquiring new customers because, well, it's exciting, right? Everyone loves acquiring. We like to see up and to the right. But is retention a new frontier for growth? And I'm not saying that it's going to replace growth. I want to be really clear here. But what I do think is that I think retention in e-commerce matters more and more these days. People are starting to realize that it is about getting the customer, but it's also just as important to retain the customer and keep that customer loyal to keep you making profits. I know one of the things I learned at my brand was that the first sale was never the profitable one. It's always the repeat sale, just like John is, or I'm sure you are. The first sale is not the money, probably not even the second or third. It's usually the fourth or fifth repeat subscription for you guys that starts to make you money just as much, right? So it's the same thing that we think about. So I'm going to kick this off with a really broad question. Why do you think many brands have overlooked retention for so long? Was it just sexier to chase new customers and spend big ads? Is there more to it? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's an unpopular opinion. I think retention has always mattered. You and I've chatted about retention back years ago. I don't necessarily though subscribe to the thought process. It's one or the other, or one is more important than the other. I think they're both equally important, right? They both matter. I mean, I think the reason retention is so overlooked and acquisition is focused on is the fact that there's so many entrepreneurs out there that they don't know what they're doing, right? And they don't know any better. And I think it's as simple as that.
Go. Yo, listen up, let me put you on game. OmniSend's got the tools and everything that they claim. Email, SMS, yeah, it's all in one. Ecom brands love it cause it gets work done. Yeah, 125K worldwide. Reviews so high, got them beaming with pride. And their stars are 4.8, no joke. Shopify back, so you know it's dope. Automation so slick, like a self-driving whip. Bring them back with a click, never losing the grip. Easy migration, yeah, that's no stress. Support so strong, got me feeling real blessed. No sneaky fees, no surprise in sight. Ain't calling it alignment just to raise the price. So if growth is the goal and sales on your mind, OmniSend's got the tools, now go get what's mine. Hit omnisend.com today and watch your brand take off, okay? Oh yeah, and tell them Awesome sent you.
I think retention, I agree, has always mattered. I think it's now amplified because you can no longer just go replace a customer for a very little amount of money.
Yeah, because CAC's just every year goes up.
I mean, I think every industry comes to a point where they have to elevate the efforts in retention. I think automobile industry, I mean, I know you've been into Jimmy since 1980s, 70s, really. They've been pushing retention, throwing cashbacks and all of these other things for current car owners. They don't want to go from Dodge to Ford or whatever the case was. But I just think it's more amplified now. I think it always has mattered. And I think companies that knew the impact of retention, which were usually the more mature companies that had better P&Ls, are the ones that use it. Now it became a buzzword with smaller entrepreneurial companies.
Just one thing I want to say real quick, because you triggered it for me. You see a lot of people talking about it now because it's cool to talk about. The reality is you could have the most amazing, strategic, tested, perfect execution retention plan. You're not going to keep 100% of your customers, right? You can do everything perfect to a T. It's not possible. And that's why acquisition also matters. Like, even if you're doing the best of the best and you have a low cost product and a very sticky product, you're hoping for, I'm talking physical goods, you're talking what? You hope for a 3 or 4 or 5%, but realistically it's probably higher.
Yeah, I think retention is hard. That's the biggest thing, is that retention is super difficult because each of your customers has a different profile for what will let them stay and what will make them come back. And so for some people, it might be the cost. For some people, it might be shipping issues. And so you have to kind of figure out what will make them stay. So whenever, we have someone who's looking to cancel, as most other people do, we'll, try to kind of run them through to say, hey, what about cost? What about, do you have a shipping issue? What can we do to kind of keep you? But the retention, as far as what you do to try and keep them on a monthly basis for us, we're a subscription, is really difficult because you're trying to figure out what will make this individual person, what will make this consumer profile, stay with you another month, another 2. And also, I think the other reason why retention is hard is, as you said, people are going to stop at some point. People are just, they have enough, or they're just not going to order anymore. So it's like, do I want to chase after that, or do I want to go after someone who's new who may be replacing them?
So I'm going to answer this on the outside of the bubble because I see it in a very different light than you guys maybe see it. So the way I'm seeing it right now is 2 things. The first thing I see is that the reason why retention is now becoming more important and people are focused on it is because they're spending less dollars on the top of the funnel right now because the dollars are harder to spend. And so people are running to the asset that they see in front of them, which is the email list or the SMS list and their customer base. And they're suddenly going, oh, wow, there's actually money in there, right? So that's the first thing. And the second reason I believe that it's always been a little bit boring is that, well, let's be honest, it's a boring channel. Like, it's not, acquisition's fun, man. You got to go put up creative ads and go do all this fun stuff and get new customers in, and those new customers are excited and they're great and the numbers shoot up. But with retention, it's more like just a soft repeating thing. Like you decrease your churn in your subscription company by 1%. It's still going to be meaningful, but it looks way more cooler to acquire a 1% new customers, right? Like, it's the whole concept of new versus old and repeating ultimately.
I mean, I could see that, but
you guys also run subscription companies. So you guys have always...
So we're also looking at it in a slightly different lens.
Yeah, you guys have always had the lens because if they don't stay for 3 months, for example, I know your numbers roughly, that they won't make you money, right? So you have that lens that you think about right away, but most brands, they don't have that lens. They rather go, I'm going to get as many customers as possible, grab the top line as big as possible, but they forget that there's more money available if they would have focused on the retention side of things too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's a lot of thoughts that are going to it. I mean, you guys both obviously care a lot about retention. And I think it's really interesting to hear this from people who might be listening to this pod thinking about retention, right? What are some ways you guys are thinking about retention in your business? Like what have you seen as something that's really effective for you guys right now?
So one of the things that we've done for the last probably 7 or 8 years, we've been doing this now for 12 years, is we're a surprise subscription. And that's really important for everyone to understand, is that our members don't necessarily know what they're going to get all the time. But for certain months, such as Halloween, what we'll do is we'll do a preview of that month. But what we'll do is, for us, September is our Halloween month because we want our members to be able to get it, to be able to wear it and experience it for the actual holiday. And there's a whole story behind that, which I can go into a whole other time.
The thought of that makes me laugh. I don't know why. Just like I need my pumpkin underwear for October.
Oh, yeah.
No, I get it.
People are very passionate about their underwear. I will tell you that. They're very passionate. Years ago, we used to send the same month. So people would get their underwear. If you got it, say October 1st, October 15th, cool. But some members would get it October 30th and 31st, and they were angry because they're like, I didn't get a chance to use it. I didn't get. So, but anyway, so going to the original point is, we'll say in August, if you want the opportunity to get the special month in September, you must be a member in August. So that way we get them for August and September.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And so it makes sure that, we want to make sure that on these limited edition sort of months that we do, that it's not just going to like anyone. We want the most loyal people are going to get like those things. And so we want to make sure to try to build in that loyalty early to where they can continue to come. And after September, then comes, the fall. And so then we'll start doing previews to try and, not all the time, but to try and get them to come back and to start up. So it's not just for signing up in August to get the September, but it's also come back in August to get September as well.
And then they stay for September, October, and if you stay in October, then you get your Christmas and your Santa Claus underwear.
The holiday stuff, no Santa Claus, but we'll get no Santa Claus.
This is why I'm not in underwear business.
But they'll get their themed stuff for November. And then they'll get New Year's stuff for December.
So you're saying ladies don't want Santa Claus underwear?
No, we wouldn't do that.
I mean, I don't. I'm a guy. I don't want Santa Claus underwear.
I would. I'd wear some Santa Claus underwear. No.
Santa Claus. I do have a pair of
reindeer.
Shinesty.
Shinesty does funny stuff, right?
Yeah. So I'm buddies with one of their co-founders, and he sent me some, and one of them's a Christmas themed, and it's a
reindeer.
Yeah, it's a reindeer.
Yeah,
but it's right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we went off on a tangent.
Like sharing that,
but yes, that was a new learning here today. Yeah. This is why I don't sell them, and I won't get into that business line. So don't worry, I'm not coming for you.
It's all good. All good.
Or I'm coming for you with the only Santa Claus underwear in town.
That's all you sell.
That's all you're gonna do every month.
Every month, Santa Claus in different outfits.
So I have a question for them too. I sometimes think people approach retention the wrong way, and what I mean by that is everyone focuses on retention on the back end after they acquire a customer, but I think with a lot of brands that I see, they have a flawed acquisition model to keep a customer and empower their retention. So no matter what they try, surprise and delight, themes, whatever the case, it doesn't work because their positioning, whether it's pricing, value proposition, whatever the case is, it is just flawed from the beginning. How do you guys see that?
Yeah, I agree with you, and we've been guilty of it. So the first time we ran the BOGO promotion, which was our very aggressive. You get another full box your first month. The first time we ran it, and I think I've spoken about this before, we ran it during the Q4 holiday season. And, with Meta's open audience. So let Meta decide, but they're going to show it to a bunch of people. And we call them bad actors, right? They weren't BattlBox customers. They had no desire to stick around for 6 months or a year or 2 years. They just wanted $600 worth of stuff for 200. So I think it's a great point. I think it's not a perfect model, and when we feel it when we make a mistake and we don't onboard the correct type, I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I think for us, what we try to do is every year, like we're already planning out 26 and 27. And so it's not just about the January package or the February package. It's about each month plays on each other. So let's say in January, it would have been a Valentine's Day sort of theme. So there may be some caricatures or something fun. Well, then maybe in February, we may do something which is maybe a little bit lighter so that by the time you're with us for like 6 months, you've gotten some fun stuff, you've gotten some basic stuff, you've gotten a whole gamut. So what we really try to do, and I don't know if we've done the best job of this, but we try to say the experience of the subscription, and this goes to the retention part, is about being with us for more than a month. It always kind of pains me really when, we see someone who subscribes, and I just said the word subscribe, meaning that you're going to be with us hopefully for more than a month, that you come on and you're like, I didn't like this month, so I'm done. That's not really what this was about. This was about over the course of the next 6 months, 8 months, you're going to get a lot of things that you like. But on a surprise and delight, which is what we do, you're not going to love every single pair every single month. So the whole idea is, as you're with us over time, you're going to get some stuff that you really, really like. And that's what we try to do to try to keep them coming each month.
Pop up, it's Alia, driving down the lane. From Nike to Plunge, they're running the game. 900 brands, yeah, they know the name. Support so fire, puts others to shame. Real A/B tests with insights to match. Fast load times like a lightning patch. Book a demo now and don't miss the deal. Get 30 days free and a 20% steal. Big shout out to Alia, an app that is revolutionizing how brands turn website visitors into loyal customers. With some of the highest performing pop-ups in ecom, Alia is helping brands ditch traditional web forms and double down on education, personalization, and conversion. We highly recommend you check out Alia at alialearn.com today and let them know Awesome sent you.
When you guys have surprise and delight, I mean, obviously the box is a surprise and delight. Is there any exchange program or there's return? Like, is there any program that comes with that, or is it just what you see is what you get?
No, we have an e-commerce store.
Okay.
So if people aren't into the surprise and delight, that's where they would go, and that's fully returns. That's fully full of everything. With the subscription, it really is you kind of get what you get. But we're not just putting things in a package. And I think that's really important for other subscription people to know. If you're an entrepreneur in subscription, this is not just about, hey, here's some stuff.
Yeah.
This is about,
you guys are curating it.
Each pair is in there for a reason. And one of the funniest things is, I'll work with the designers, and we'll take a lot of time to design something. We're like, okay, this is going to be the hero of this month, meaning this is the one that we're really promoting. This is the one that we really want to showcase. And then we'll have one that's like, okay, here's the green pair that we're just going to put in. And then we'll get people like, oh, I love the green pair.
The green pair was it.
The green pair was it. And it was like, oh, we literally just put this in at the last minute because we needed something to go along with the others. So, but the whole point of surprise and delight is everyone's different. Everyone's going to be surprised and delighted by different things. And what we're trying to do is each month make sure that there's something there for as many people as we can.
So do you have to buy the subscription in order to buy the e-commerce side?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you guys are separated in that situation.
100%, because there are people who don't want to do surprise and delight.
Got it. So surprise and delight is almost like your mystery. You know how the mystery gift offerings, like you guys were ahead of the trend of mystery gift. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Where like the young, like the Gen Z or Gen Alpha now will buy like mystery boxes, basically. You're basically a mystery box for underwear.
Yes, but I just want to also make sure one thing is clear. It's like, it's a mystery, but it's not like, for example, in February, you're going to be getting Halloween.
No. It's curated, of course. It's curated. You guys are thinking about it. You guys are being impact. Like, you guys are putting intention behind it. But what I'm saying is you're still playing a little bit of the mystery game.
But so is BattlBox.
Yeah, I know it is. But I'm saying, like, it's interesting. Just, it's different. Like, I don't know why BattlBox to me is like, when I see BattlBox, and it's like, I'm a subscriber of BattlBox, for example, and it makes sense because there's a mission tied to it. There's an event tied to it, right? With underwear, it's underwear, like it's different to me. Like, it's apparel,
It's interesting you say that, because I love what you guys do with the different missions. For us, it's mainly just about, like, is it on theme for that time?
Yeah.
And that's really important. It's not just the underwear. We have tissue paper. It's an experience. We call it, it's like Christmas every month. And so we get a lot of people who are like, I love the tissue paper this month. It's a small and subtle thing, but it really does make a difference.
Makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a difference, because it's like, okay, for St. Patrick's Day, it's going to be like a green. So once they open up the package, we'll see that online on some of the unboxing videos. They open up the package because, again, they don't know if they're going to be one of the ones chosen to get the St. Patrick's Day stuff. So they open, they see the green, they're like, oh, I think I know what's inside. So it's really important that the experience is everything from beginning to end is really important.
So I think, and you touched on that a lot, and I know it is for us too, like, all those companies that, when we all had dozens of competitors that are mostly all gone now, so many of them were just putting stuff in the box, and that was the problem.
Yeah, big problem.
The amount of time, like, we literally have weekly calls, and we have a whole team that is dedicated to curating and making sure the box goes well together and the different items are complementary. Like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of team members. It's the farthest thing from just putting stuff in the box.
So question for you guys. And Anthony, you said you have the store, you have the subscription. You have the store, you have the subscription.
Yeah, same.
How do you guys approach subscription retention and one-time purchase retention differently? Or do you not?
Ooh, no, that's a good. So I'm really into subscription. And that's my big thing. And so with the subscription retention, it's really about, like I said earlier, about trying to put together months that kind of go together as a theme. And that's the goal for the
What's
retention.
the revenue split? Like 80-20 or?
Oh, it's like 90.
Oh, even
yeah.
more,
Like we're not big on e-commerce.
Okay.
Because we really do a lot of our marketing towards a subscription.
Yeah.
The e-commerce is really almost like a secondary thing. And what we try to say to our members, because we really want people to become members of Splendies, is our members get the same package they saw. If we have availability after, you can then purchase the actual thing. But really, just go and subscribe, because if you subscribe, then you're going to be able to get all those things.
Guaranteed.
With the no guarantee.
Oh,
No guarantee, but you have a pretty good chance of getting those sorts of things. Now with the store. And again, we're not big on this, so we're not the best at this. What we try to do is we try to say, hey, if you order before noon, you will ship it out that day. So we try to do things where it's like you can get it's a different customer. It's a different mindset. That customer is like, I saw this, I want that, I want it here now. And so there, where it's going to be tracking right away, you're going to get it hopefully within a few days. We're not necessarily competing with Amazon, but we have to kind of get it there. We want to make sure it shows up correctly. Any issue, any problem, take care of it, all that sort of thing. So it is different. It's a great question.
Their demographics very different. I know that. I know when I was in clothing, we tried to do women's, but they weren't loyal enough for us, and we definitely abandoned that.
We've had women on for 9-10 years.
Yeah,
we just love getting underwear. Just love getting underwear.
Impressive. It's not one that a lot of people favor in the apparel world. It's a hard demographic.
Well, you figure out how to serve them.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very demographic, and it makes sense with a lot of the ways you guys are driving.
You might know this better than I do, but I know, like, reading and researching, that I believe in apparel specifically, it takes 3 purchases for somebody to become a loyal customer. So it's not even just like one you make the money. Sometimes you have to lose money or break even on second and third to make sure they become a long-term loyal customer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I remember that we had women's and we had men's, and men were like 40 to 50% returning customers, and women were like sub 10, and we just couldn't get women to repeat because fast fashion is really hard in streetwear, and it was just like they only wanted the latest and newest drops. They didn't care about actual like inventory. It was a big mess. We just decided not to serve them,
focus on guys.
Yeah, and it worked out for us for a while, and we never got into it. But as I was saying to my counterparts over at Fashion Nova back then, like, they figured it out real fast. So
they've done a good job.
John, I love to talk about anecdotes on returning customers and how they impact your bottom line. And I know you kind of included this chart here, but talk to us about this thing. And we'll have the B-roll pop it up right on the front.
Put this chart up here.
Yeah, around somewhere. There. Yeah, around his face. Cover his face, but not his face.
Right there.
Yeah.
So it's literally looking at the last 24 months of customers, of cohorts.
Yep.
So all the way to March of 2023, and that entire month is a cohort. April's an entire cohort, and it's the LTV. And it's 2 different LTVs. It's the LTV of a subscriber and an LTV of a one-time purchaser. The LTV of a subscriber to us over 24 months is $897. The one-time purchaser is $57.
Wow, that's huge.
It's a big difference.
But now, if you start layering that on with conversion rate or thinking about how much it takes to convert them, does that make a big difference?
Not of substance. I mean, the reality is the subscription is where it's at, right? It's why we're both so heavy. It's the LTV. If you can curate and give a good experience, and it's, we did the episode about how difficult this has become, but if you can execute it, it builds such loyalty.
But to be fair, I mean, for both of you, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are heavily positioned and known as curated, experiential subscription brands.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And to your question that Anthony answered, how are we marketing and running retention programs to both sides? The people that buy the one-time products, we send them sales and we send them other stuff to try to get them. But we're definitely giving them this whole onboarding series of why they just need to go ahead and sign up for the membership. That's where it's at.
Sign up, yeah. Just sign up for subscription.
Yeah.
And what's the success rate on that?
I mean, I guess it would depend on how you're looking at it.
Like, what's the conversion rate for someone who buys a one-time product and ends up in a subscription?
So overall, right now, it's pretty low because of the success we've had with TikTok.
Okay.
So TikTok is really messing it up. It's sub, less than 10% because of, I think right now it's like,
well, and on top of that, with
1.5%,
TikTok,
2%.
you're not getting their email address anyway. So you're only just able to chase them around with flyers and postcards and stuff.
yeah.
Right?
So, with TikTok, you're not getting the email. You are getting the address. Now, I'm not saying that you should do anything with that, but you have the address. There's some software.
Yeah. No, I know that.
And, there's also the reality that, there might be some free giveaways or some warranties that they could register for that might, they might want to supply their email that way. Not saying you should do that, but, it's a thing. So, I mean, we are getting them in the ecosystem. But you're right. Like it's
tougher.
Yeah, and it's the same. I mean, Amazon. You can't. The things I talked about you can't do in general. You definitely can't do it on Amazon. Amazon will kill your account.
TikTok's a little loose still.
Yeah,
right?
TikTok's loosey goosey. But if you don't, marketplaces are challenging because you don't have that customer data.
Yeah,
they're not truly your customer.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I know when you think about retention, one of the things that I've seen, at least your brand do, is obviously, and it sounds like you got your exclusive access too. You've got like perks basically, right? Like battle games, the perfect idea of a perk where if you're a member, you might get a golden certificate or whatever.
Golden
ticket to get into
the
it.
Battle games.
Yeah.
You guys do amazing stuff, seriously.
Yeah, you guys doing battle games. You're doing obviously exclusive underwear designs. Do you guys do anything else that's pretty unique that you guys can think about that's really retention focused?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's the retention things are so many like little things that we do. So we do once a year a true surprise and delight. So we stack rank the top, depends on the year and it depends on what we're sending. So anywhere I would say between the top 250 and top 700 customers that are active. So we literally stack rank it based on how long they've been an active member and how much they've spent in total with us. Stack rank it so everybody's still active in the group. And then depending on the product, whether it's 250 or 600, we order a specific product for them. Last year, and we normally send an end of the year near the holidays. So we sent this one in the beginning of December. It was a nice knife, probably retailed for probably about $50-$60. I think our cost was low 20s. We had it engraved BattlBox VIP, and we sent it to the top 500 customers with a letter from me that I wrote.
Just as separate, not as part of the box.
No, yeah, completely independent, sent independently, just saying thank you.
That's nice.
There's no, so little things like that. I think go a long way.
And do you have any? I mean, obviously you have your YouTube community and your TikTok community and stuff like that. Do you guys have a centralized community at all? Like, is there a place where people hang out and banter about BattlBox stuff? On Facebook, you have a Facebook group.
We used to have like when we launched, it was battleboxforum.com. Now technically that forwards
like an old school like BBB forum.
Yeah,
those are great.
But it's tough to manage. Facebook does a really good job of being able to manage it.
Yeah.
And we converted over to Facebook, and so it's I know there's different thoughts on this, and I'm not saying we do it the best way, but I think with our maturity, it works for us. It's a paid wallet. It's active members only. A lot of brands will do it where it's a mix of the two, and they use it as a sales channel. We just made the decision. And I don't know if it's the right decision, but it's a paywall.
So it's a closed community for people who are in
perk.
subscription. It's a perk.
It's a perk.
I have a question about that because I think it's brilliant. What if someone's a paid member, but then they decide to cancel for whatever reason? Are they still in the group?
No. 30 days later, they will be.
It's literally part of the perk of the membership.
It's part of the membership.
Wow. Okay.
It's aggressive, but I think that's the right way to create activity, right? Like probably the thing I can tell you without even being in the group, even though I could join the group, is that it's probably super active. They probably talk a lot. They probably talk about the latest stuff, and they're probably
We have buy, sell, trade
Yeah,
day.
you're keeping people like active in their own little ecosystem of something that they really relate to, and the hobby and relationship with the product and the relationship with the brand. They're staying in there because they have now a connection with the other people, and they don't want to lose that connection with the
They
human
have the
connection.
ability to tag. People. I got tagged this morning. Someone tagged me. I was like, "Hey, what do you think about this product?" So you get tagged, and having access to a dozen BattlBox employees that are getting to see the Facebook notification and engage with you. It's kind of cool. It's different.
It's super cool.
That's really cool.
What about you? Do you do anything beyond the typical loyalty program? I mean, do you do point systems? What do you do as far as loyalty on your side?
So what we do, and I think that John is like really, really good at this, and we should do a better job. But what we do to have is like refer to people, get your next month for free.
Okay.
We also do a share with hashtag Splendies. If anyone shares on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, they can get either an extra free pair the next month, or a free month, or a free year.
Okay.
So we're always like looking out for people who are making interesting unboxing videos or different things. When I think about retention, I think about it in a couple of ways of things that we would love to do. We're not necessarily doing it right now, but we would love to get everyone's birthday month, and then that month they get like an extra pair. Or something that's like completely different, or something that isn't available anywhere else.
Like Santa underwear.
No Santa Claus, but it's just one of those things where it's like I wish that's a logistical thing, which is much more difficult for us. We're a smaller company to be able to do, but it's something that I think would be great, because we always have people who are like, oh, it's my birthday month. What do we have? Like, what do they have for me? And we just like, oh, we don't have anything right now. One of the things that we do try to do with retention, and we do have a similar group, but it's actually of people who have been members in the past or current members. But I really love the idea of having only current members, is we'll do surveys of here's what we're working on for, a future month.
Which is huge.
And then they can participate and let us know, hey, we really like this. And it really is, because, we'll have designers who are like literally working on, it's either A, B, or C. And we're all like, it's A. It's 100% A. Overwhelmingly, it's C.
It's
so it's going to be C.
Right.
So we're not, if that's what you want, then that's what we're going to do. And so having them to be able to participate in actually putting together the what it is, I think is really important. And being able to sort of have an idea of this is what we like, and then we actually get to know this is what they think would make a good pair, is really cool for us.
What's interesting, like earlier when you were talking about how you guys curate everything and kind of that experience of the wrapping paper and everything, and it's kind of hit me now as you said, the birthday piece. I don't know if I guess a high level question is, I almost feel maybe...
We're here for high level.
I'm sorry?
We're here for high level.
I wonder if your subscribers are subscribing almost as a gift to themselves.
That's how we market
100%.
it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So it's like when they ask you for this birthday piece, they're like, well, I'm getting a gift every month, but I'm not getting the gifts.
Yeah, no.
Which is very interesting.
No, so we've always marketed as a gift to yourself.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas every month. It's not underwear. It's fun to wear. I can go on and on. But this is something where in everything that's going on throughout the day, everything that's going on throughout the month, this is something that is for yourself. I'll just make a quick story. I remember we had an email from a lady who had cancer. True story. She had cancer, and she emailed us letting us know that she really wanted to make sure that she got her Splendies to this new address, because it was a one thing that she looked forward to every single month. And when I say that people are passionate about what we do, I really mean that, because it's something where if there's chaos going on, there is something nice about getting something for yourself that didn't cost a lot of money. That is something where you're like, I wonder what this is. What we're trying to recreate is two things. One, and this is why surprisingly I love the aspect of it. I'm going to date myself. I'm a big baseball guy. So when you were opening up baseball cards pack back in the day, you were never angry when you got a baseball pack. You were always wondering what's coming.
Yeah.
What's next? That's one of the feelings. And then also like on Christmas morning, like before you knew, going back to Santa Claus there may be a Santa Claus, I don't know. But long story short.
If I put it into the air enough, it'll will its way in.
Long story short, like you never know what you're going to get. And that surprise of what it is so huge. That's part of the thing. And so talking about retention, to go back to that, with subscription, I do harp on subscription. That's what we do. That's what I like. It's a completely different animal than D2C. D2C, what we kind of find with the people, they see something, they want it, they buy it. And if they see something else, maybe a few months later, they'll buy that. With the subscription membership, this is really about what's in there. I can't miss this because I don't want to miss this month because this may be the month that I get everything.
So one thing that we've done, and I'm curious if you try this, because you have these like the exclusive, the St. Pat's, the Halloween surprises. For those people that miss it, have you ever tried, or do you, to give them an option as an upsell, a limited time? Hey, you missed on this because you weren't a member, but we'll allow you to buy it one time. So
I think it's a great question. And the answer is yes and no. And here's why it's both. Yes, we've done that in the past. Now we don't do it as much, and there's a specific reason for it. Because what we've talked about, go subscribe. And so now it's literally
I mean, if you're an active subscriber.
Right. Oh, and you missed that month.
Yeah. And you're like, as long as you're an active subscriber, we're going to have, like, you can do a vault or limited runs where you can go and get that for yourself because you missed it.
No, you should have been there. Don't miss it. Like, that's what we...
Yeah,
okay, so it's super exclusive.
We try to be.
If you do stuff like that and you do those concessions, you start creating the behavior that the membership isn't as exclusive as it is. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about switching the idea? I mean, birthdays are always great, but like it could also just be the birthday of them subscribing every 12 months, for example. On the 12th month or the 6th month, like basically
that's a really good idea.
Splendies birthday.
Like Splendies anniversaries, like at 6 months, because you've been with us for this year's 6 months. So your wrapping paper looks different for that 6 month because you get 6 month wrapping paper and maybe one little extra thing.
That's a really good idea. No, I haven't thought about it.
Thinking about it instead of a binary birthday thing, because that makes it a really difficult logistically. You just think about the number of subscription boxes they've purchased.
Yep.
And you can go off that. And people are okay with that.
We give them BattlBox, and I feel like that isn't very exciting.
Wait, what do you give them?
So BattlBox is just our point system. We give
so they give you points for over time, right? How many points have I accrued, sir?
Check your dashboard.
I don't know how to do that.
Download the app.
I don't know how to do that.
The app's on iOS.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was an Android only option. All right, Amer, I want to jump to you because I'm curious, as we're talking about a lot of the retention side, we've basically talked about communities a bit. When you talk about retention boosting, and your clients are probably coming to you about this, what are they coming to you for? Like, what do they think about when they come to you? What kind of creative ideas have you heard recently?
So when it comes to retention, I know you're going to hate this answer. I don't look at it from a marketer's lens, believe it or not. I look at it from an operational lens, some of the things you were mentioning. And I'll use two examples.
Okay.
So we work with a company that sells subscription boxes for kids. You get your toys and whatever. And they were priced basically, monthly was, I think, $30 every quarterly. 6 months was like $28 a box, and then $26 a box or something like that for yearly. The problem is, and then on top of that, the way they were doing their marketing, they were doing a heavy upfront discount applicable to every single subscription to acquire customers, which it worked. They were still profitable. But as I dove into the numbers with them, I realized that the monthly subscription was killing them. Because what people were doing, they were opting subscription, getting their 30, 40, 50% off compared to the one-time boxes that they had on their store. And instead of spending $35 on a one-time box, they were getting that for $15 with the 50, and the following month canceling.
Yep.
So I kind of looked at it as like, well, this doesn't make sense, because why am I going to buy a one-time kit that's super profitable if I get a subscription, call it a day, give it to my kid or gift it to whomever and move on? So one of the things that we did, and we're finding it's very, very interesting, is we increased the price of the monthly by $10. People are still buying it $10 more. And the 6 and the 12 month went up because there's now perceived value. So you can buy the monthly kit, you'll get your surprise, you don't know what you get it, but it's going to be the exact same price as the rest of the kits. So the only upsell value is actually to them was free shipping. And you don't have to worry about reordering it for a shot.
When we drop past missions randomly throughout the year, they are the standard price.
Yeah.
There's not a difference in the box in a one-time capacity versus membership. It's interesting.
You know,
but we don't offer them it's not evergreen, right? You can't at any point go on and buy a kit from us.
Yeah. So they can do that, but what they do is they have like these themed, very limited edition boxes.
Okay.
But what they used to do for them is they used to price them as every other box. And I was like, wait, this is exclusive,
that
whatever.
work. Yeah.
I had them increase the price by $15 on those. These are limited time. You're only going to drop them for a few weeks. And we increased our AOV drastically because we added them as a card bump at the checkout. Hey, this is only one-time offer. You're getting your subscription right now. This is a limited edition box. Do you want to take it or not?
Yeah. The old cart bump upsell.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question around two things I've thought about while you're talking about this. So number one, you know how Amazon, when they buy a subscription box, they offer you two ways to, not a subscription box, but a subscription to something. They have the subscribe and save, and then they have the one-time buy, right?
Yeah.
But if you subscribe and save, you don't actually get that product right away. They make you wait. Unless you subscribe and save and they take the instant, then you get a less of a discount than you would normally get. I feel like there's something to learn from that. And that's kind of like the first thing that I was talking about. I have no idea, but I just thought about that while you were talking about that.
Yeah.
The second thing I was thinking about, I always wondered, because I know you guys, for example, ship on a certain day every month. Do you ship on a certain day every month, or do you guys ship throughout the month?
We ship on a certain day, but if they miss that, we'll still ship them later on.
Okay. So I always wondered if there's some level of exclusivity to the ship date, like moving it faster than like getting it like putting like, and I'm not saying that you guys should do this, but it makes me think about the Amazon model and go, what if you said like, no matter what they buy, it's going to ship in 7 days, unless you buy this accelerated to get it shipped the next day? Is there value?
So it doesn't work for us because at the end of the day, it's a mystery drop model.
Yeah.
So we have a limited window where
everything
has to be delivered in that window because you don't want people to ruin the surprise, right? You also don't want someone. Remember, it's mystery, and we can curate what we feel, even with feedback, customer feedback. We feel it's the best box ever. The reality is only 85%. Best case scenario of our fans, active members are going to be like, this box is perfect. People are going to have an issue with this product or that product. So by doing that too, and allowing that leakage of the drop where the information's out there, you're going to have people that are just going to cancel. And then we're stuck on.
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about it that way. Yours is a little bit different, but I was just thinking about a subscription model, like, a CPG product where you're like consumable
like
product.
An Avi or something.
Yeah. If you're like Avi or like your Coke or whatever, maybe you could be like, like the whole problem, what you said about like, I'm going to buy subscribe and save to get the cheaper price, right? Instead of the one-time price so I can get it faster. How do you eliminate that by saying, subscribe and save ships in 7 days unless you pay the extra bump to get it now, but that now price is just pretty close to your regular price. I mean, it's probably way too much logic and overthinking on the marketer side, but it's just something I thought about.
What I was trying to solve is more of the retention piece, because we can't solve retention if people are canceling.
Well, that's why I'm saying that is like, if I increase it or tell them there's a longer longevity, what you're doing up front is saying you must really want this product right now, that you want to accelerate it fast and pay close to your regular price, or you want to wait 7 days because you're willing to wait because you really want the product.
The issue with them, for example, too, is they ship on the first of the month.
Oh, only on the first of the month.
So whether you get it on the 14th or 18th. Now, what we're actually doing is with their kits, actually, we're Eric from Sweatpants.
Yeah.
What we are going to add is a subscribe and save on individual kits where they can not only subscribe to there, but actually pick the first kit that they want to receive. If they really like it, and they can roll to there, and then they will get the kit immediately. And then we would enroll them on the first. We'd have a trigger depending where their shipping cutoff is. So they don't have to wait another month or whatever to get it. So there's like little small things. But the reason I'm sharing that is sometimes you have to tackle subscription and change the business model up front in order to fix what's on the back end. Because you can throw all the discounts you want. You're not going to save customers.
And I think this all comes back to what something you said last spot. It's all about the DNA of the business.
Yeah.
It really is, like what they're really good at. And I think it's something people need to understand. Like, the DNA of the business is going to drive what you're really good at. And the other side of things, supplemental at some level. Like, you just got to continue doing what you do. 90% subscription to 10% one time. That's a crazy amount of one time is barely moving the needle for the business. It's really the subscription that does, right?
Yeah. One of the things that we've done in the past is, and you're talking about ship dates. So we ship on the 19th of every month. And so what we do is we say, if you have to be billed on time. If you're billed on time, you will more than likely, never want to use the word guarantee, but you pretty much will get that specific like themed limited edition thing. Our second shipment is on the 27th of the month. And I would say by that time, we probably sold out of maybe like 85% of the limited edition. So we really try and incentivize people to not only bill on time, but also be a prepay. So if they sign up and get a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription, then they have the best shot. And so that's another sort of thing to like say, hey, if you do this, you have the much better chance of getting these things. So we're really, really focused on making sure that the person signs up and that they stay. That's the goal.
It's good. All right. I want to move on. I know we've been talking about this for a while. I think we came up with a lot of good like conversation pieces and topics, but it's time to play a little game here. And we're coming back here with John's Guess That Business, where John's going to tell us some clues and we're going to guess what the business is. And Amara's going to try to look over and look at the big font words to tell you what the business is today. So Amara, last time, let me just explain to you so you understand. They were sitting next to each other, and Amara's like, "Oh, I know what the business is," as he's staring at the doc.
No, it was not like that.
He took over the section where Jimmy would make a guess, and we were like, "That's not it."
And because it was so bad, I guessed that business pretty quickly, and he was like, "Nope, not right. It wasn't public." And he was like,
"No, we were talking about Beyond." Yes. And I'm vegetarian.
Did you guys hear the replay of the pod? I was on point way early.
But we didn't hear it because he was...
Yeah, because he was in there going, no, they didn't IPO yet.
All right, guys. So here's
I was talking about impossible.
Tomatoes. So I am going to read 7 clues that you're going to get from hard to easy. And we're going to try to guess that business. The hardest. This company launched its first major project in September 2023, creating something that had never been built before. Clue 2 is not really going to help, but it's a lot. They're technically publicly traded now. So I'm going to read you their quarterly 2024 top line revenue and loss. Q1 2024 revenue $173 million. They lost $70 million. Q2. Revenue down $121 million. They lost $95 million. Q3, $118 million in revenue. They lost $78 million. Q4, so October, December, the last quarter before Q1. So recently, $137 million in revenue and $69.8 million in losses.
This business is still around.
Business is still around.
All right.
Is this an automotive company?
No.
Okay.
Clue number 3. This is going to start getting easier. Its flagship venue is one of the most expensive entertainment projects in history.
The Sphere lost that much money?
With a price tag of $2.3 billion.
Wow.
I've been to the Sphere and I think it's amazing. I'm shocked that it's
You better hurry up and keep going because it's going to be gone soon.
So,
the amount of money it's losing. Jeez.
A couple other clues that are good. Just speaking to stuff. The outside, you can buy it. If you buy the whole day, it's $450K from like an advertising perspective.
That's like a whole budget for the year.
Yeah. So when they launched that U2 residency, 25 show residency it completely sold out. It booked, it was $2.1 million in revenue per night, which is not
that's how much they make by selling everything inside.
Yeah.
So you could hypothetically spend $450,000 on the outside to sell 2.1 on the inside.
Yeah. So they are losing money. Yeah. In Q4, let's see, 70, 90, 570, 240, 250, roughly they lost $320 million last year.
Wow.
And what I didn't realize is Madison Square Garden.
That's shocking.
Moved them into their own publicly traded company.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I think it's Sphere. It's like SP.
I didn't even know they were a public company.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, so all their financials are just out in the open.
So what you've said is, you better hurry up and go check it out if you haven't, because they might not exist if they can't. I don't think,
though, it's too big to fail, right?
Yeah, I mean, MMA just recently did a big thing there.
But they said they'll never do it again.
EDC, EDM stuff. Oh, they're not?
Dana said he'll never do it again.
Was it too much?
We're
hard?
going there tomorrow night if we make it to that event.
Okay. All right.
He's like 1, 2, 3.
I think that's event number 7.
Number 9 or 10 on the day.
Yeah. You're a SaaS company's worst nightmare because you signed up for like 19 events.
SaaS companies dream.
No, you're the worst because you signed up for all of it. You know the thing about Vegas, which is really interesting, because as the SaaS side, I've had this. The show rate problem is a big problem. Meaning, like, I have 100 seats and only 100 seats. I'm gonna sign up 100 merchants because I want to fill those 100 seats.
So
you get a show rate problem.
I didn't sign up for any dinners because of that.
Yeah.
All of the stuff I did was happy hours.
Like happy hour. Oh yeah, okay, you're fine. But for dinners and stuff, they'll sign up for like 5 different dinners and then like show up to 1 or 2. Well, where are you gonna eat then, John?
I'm going to eat light hors d'oeuvres all night. I think 4 of the 7 places we're going to go tomorrow night.
I love it.
I've confirmed.
I loved it. Well, I might join you for 1 or 2 of the light hors d'oeuvres. We'll see which one we go to. We have to make sure we feed the vegans. So we'll find one that has broccoli,
grilled cheese
and broccolis. No, does he eat grilled cheese? I can't remember.
I'm vegetarian.
Oh yeah, vegetarian, not vegan. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Get it right.
It's okay. Yeah, gosh.
All right. Well, with that, guys, that is a wrap. Episode 44, the future of customer retention beyond loyalty programs. Please like, comment, subscribe. Give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this podcast and video. Follow us on social media: TikTok, X, IG, LinkedIn, YouTube. Just type in ASOM Pod to find us. And don't forget to leave us a review or a rating on your favorite podcast streaming platform. Remember, this is a video-only podcast. We go city to city. Today, we're in the beautiful city of Las Vegas. We enjoy what we do, and we want to do it in a live, one-to-one human setting here, and that's why we do the things that we do. So watch us on YouTube. That's where you're going to get the best experience. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to asompod.com. If you enjoy what we're talking about, we take our unfiltered, unedited hot takes and we throw them on. A little tip that we'll share is that they're ranked each and every week by our editor, and then we have a scuffle on the back end of why mine was better than someone else's.
Because she's known you forever and she just likes you, so you always win.
Jeez. Amir was arguing me last week while he was in number 4.
She's known him. She worked for him for like 8 years, so she always picks him to be the winner.
It's okay if I have better hot takes.
Yeah, Jimmy's the best writer. Get out of here.
I'm actually not, but
you're
sometimes.
actually pretty good.
I'm pretty good sometimes because I know how to rant.
Yeah,
but we'll be
I just
back.
get upset when I put a lot of effort into it.
But you argue because you're in 4th place and I'm in 1st place. You should argue with the 3rd place better person that you're better first, and then the 2nd, and then the 1st. You don't just jump straight to the top.
You're never gonna knock out number 1 because she is biased and just picks him.
Yeah, just go after number 3 or 2. But
I didn't say I had to be number 1. I just didn't think I was supposed to be number 4.
If you're not first, you're last.
If you're not first, you're last. In there,
Ricky Bobby.
All right. Well, we're coming back next week with another special guest episode, since Brian, of course, has abandoned us. And if you're listening to this, Brian,
and if Adam, if you're listening, thanks. So look what we had to do. We had to bring in better people to replace Brian. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Oh, take that back. All right. Episode 45, Psychology of Pricing, Value versus Perception. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next pod.
Welcome to the ASOM Pod, where we talked a lot. Ecom was the path that we walked a lot. But now the question is, will you subscribe or not? Ha!